Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 406 of the AI Brief. We're glad to have you with us today.
It's great to be here. We have a lot to get through.
We certainly do. Today isn't just about a few new features. It feels like we're watching the infrastructure of the next decade being built in real time. We're going to explore OpenAI's new command center, the one that might fundamentally change how software gets made.
And we're also unpacking that massive merger with SpaceX that could, literally move the internet's backbone off the planet.
And then we'll ground all that high-tech speculation with a major medical study out of Sweden showing how AI is detecting aggressive cancers that human doctors are missing.
A very full slate.
So let's just jump right in. Today's new updates, and we have to start with OpenAI. They've launched this thing called the Codex app for macOS.
Right.
Now, on the surface, an app launch can sound, a bit mundane, but you're telling me this is actually a real pivot in the industry.
It's a significant pivot. For the last couple of years, we've been living in what you could call the chatbot paradigm. You type a prompt into a box, you get text back.
It's linear.
It's linear, and honestly, it's pretty limited. The Codex app represents the shift to what people are calling the agentic era.
We hear that word agentic thrown around constantly in tech circles. So for someone listening who's just trying to get work done, what's the difference between an agent and the ChatGPT we use every day?
Okay, so think of a chatbot like a really, really smart encyclopedia. You ask a question, it gives you an answer. An agent is more like a skilled intern.
Okay.
You give an agent a goal, say, build me a landing page for this product. And the agent itself breaks that goal down into steps. It writes the code, it tests the code, it sees an error, it fixes the error, and then it shows you the final result.
So it's not just retrieving information, it's actively...
It's executing tasks. It has a loop of action, it has agency.
And this new app is designed to, facilitate that?
Exactly. The problem with trying to do agentic work in a web browser is that browsers are, they're sandboxed. They're safe, but they're walled off. They can't easily see your local files. They can't run terminal commands on your machine.
They can't touch the workshop tools.
Right. And they really struggle to manage complex project structures. So the Codex app is a command center precisely because it breaks out of that sandbox. It's a dedicated desktop interface that gives the AI permission to actually do the work.
That sounds incredibly powerful, but also a little chaotic. If I have multiple agents running around my computer fixing things, don't they just trip over each other?
And that is the specific problem OpenAI is solving here. The killer feature is what they call isolation. When you're building complex software, you might have one agent trying to fix a database bug,
while another one is redesigning the UI.
Exactly. And if they're running in the same memory space, they'll conflict. They'll override each other's work. Codex creates a structure where these agents can run in parallel, but they stay in their own lanes.
It's like a project manager, making sure the plumber and the electrician aren't working in the same wall at the exact same time.
That is a perfect analogy. And the capabilities here go way beyond just writing text. In the demo OpenAI released, they showed the system handling deployments, managing project boards, even generating images.
A full-stack developer teammate.
Pretty much. And there's that one demo with the game that really caught my eye.
The 3D racing game. Yeah, tell me about that.
This was, frankly, startling. They gave the system a single prompt, build a 3D racing game. And the agent didn't just write a script, it handled the game design, it wrote the actual development code, and then it performed the QA testing.
Wow.
But the metric that really matters here isn't the game itself, it's the context window. The whole task was processed across 7 million tokens.
Okay, let's unpack 7 million tokens. We usually talk in pages or words. What does that scale actually mean for the AI?
To put that in perspective, a standard novel is maybe 50,000 tokens, so 7 million tokens it's like holding 140 novels in your working memory at the exact same time.
That is massive.
It's unprecedented for a consumer tool. It means the AI isn't just looking at the one snippet of code you're currently typing. It remembers the entire documentation for the game engine, your previous design notes, the graphic assets, the whole history of the code base, all at once.
But we can maintain architectural coherence.
Something smaller models just cannot do.
Okay, but I have to play devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
We know Anthropic's Claude has been the darling of the developer community for a while. A lot of coders I talked to switched because it just felt smarter at logic. Is this OpenAI playing catch-up?
Oh, 100%. You nailed it. This is absolutely a defensive move. Yeah. Anthropic won that developer mindshare in late 2024, early 2025, because Claude was just frankly, better at reasoning. OpenAI has the raw model power, but they lack the workflow.
So this is about user experience.
It's about usability. By building a slick, dedicated macOS app, they're trying to beat Anthropic on being the iPhone of coding agents, integrated and polished.
And for anyone listening who wants to try it,
It's Mac only for now. It is available for a limited time for free users, and if you're a paid subscriber, you get doubled usage limits.
okay, let's shift gears now to, well, the biggest number I've seen in a long time, $1.25 trillion.
A trillion with a T.
Elon Musk has merged xAI into SpaceX, creating the world's most valuable private company.
It's a huge move.
On the surface, this looks like a financial consolidation.
Yeah.
You've got the rockets from SpaceX, the Grok AI model, and the X platform all under one roof.
Yeah.
But when you dig into the press release, the rationale is pretty exotic.
It is classic Musk. He's identifying a bottleneck that most people aren't really feeling yet, but it's coming fast, and that bottleneck is energy.
For AI.
For AI, it requires massive amounts of compute. Compute requires massive electricity, and data centers generate massive heat. We're already seeing them straining local power grids in places like Virginia and Ireland. We're just running out of easy power on Earth.
So the pitch is to take the data centers to space.
Space-based compute, yes.
I have to stop you there. Putting things in orbit is notoriously expensive. We're talking thousands of dollars per kilogram. How can launching a servo farm into space possibly be cheaper than building one in a desert?
That is the skeptical question everyone is asking. But here's the math that Musk is pitching. Once you get the hardware up there, which, Starship is designed to do very cheaply, your operating costs plummet.
Why?
Because the sun never sets in orbit.
Constant solar power.
Exactly. You have access to near constant, unblinking solar energy. No night, no clouds. And the second biggest cost in a data center after power, it's cooling.
And space is very, very cold.
You have infinite heat dissipation, so you save on the electric bill and the AC bill.
Okay, but what about latency? If I'm asking Grok a question, and that signal has to go all the way to orbit and back.
For low-orbit satellites, latency is actually comparable to fiber optics running across an ocean. Starlink already proved that. But Musk isn't just talking about chatbots for you and me. He's talking about the huge, months-long computational tasks for training new models.
The training runs.
Exactly. Where latency doesn't matter, but raw power and cooling efficiency are everything.
It's vertical integration on a galactic scale.
It really is. He calls it an innovation engine on and off Earth. You use the rockets to launch the compute. You use the compute to solve the engineering problems for the next rockets. And this is the wild part. He explicitly said this infrastructure is for
Mars.
self-growing bases on the moon and civilization on Mars. Right. Because if you're on Mars, you can't just ping a server in California to get your answer. You need local compute.
He's pre-building the IT infrastructure for a multiplanetary civilization.
And funding it by selling AI services back to Earth. It's a massive gamble, but with SpaceX's launch dominance, they're the only ones who could even try it.
We're watching the concept of the cloud become literal. It's actually going into the cloud.
The literal cloud.
Let's come back down to Earth for our third major update. And this is a medical breakthrough in breast cancer screening. I want to be careful here because we often see these headlines about AI curing cancer that turn out to be hype. But this study from Sweden looks different.
It is very different. This wasn't some small lab test. This was a randomized control trial with over 100,000 women over 2 years. In the medical world, that's a gold standard sample size.
And what were the key findings?
So they compared standard mammography screening, which is usually 2 radiologists looking at images, against a workflow where an AI does the first pass. The headline number is that the AI boosted detection rates from 74% to 81%.
7% might not sound huge to a layperson, but in population health, that represents thousands of lives.
It does. But there's a nuance here that's maybe even more important. Usually in medicine, when you dial the sensitivity of a test, when you try to catch more cases, you end up with more false positives.
You scare patients who are actually healthy. The boy who cried wolf problem.
Precisely. But this AI didn't do that. It increased detection without spiking the false positive rate. And this is crucial, the AI group saw 27% fewer aggressive tumor types appearing later on.
Wait, explain that. How do you see fewer cancers?
It means the AI caught them when they were small, subtle, and treatable before they had a chance to grow into that aggressive stage that usually shows up clinically months later. It just shifted the whole timeline to the left.
That's incredible. So it's spotting the subtle patterns that the human eye might gloss over.
Yes. A radiologist looks for shapes they were trained on. The AI is analyzing pixel-level density, structural anomalies that might not look like a lump yet, but still signal danger.
And what about the doctors? Is this the part where we say radiologists are out of a job?
Actually, no, the study showed the opposite. It makes the job sustainable. The system reduced the radiologist's workload by 44%.
Almost half.
Think about a radiologist's day. They spend hours staring at thousands of healthy scans looking for that needle in a haystack. It causes massive fatigue. The AI handled the initial screening, the sorting, and that lets the human doctors spend their mental energy on the complex, borderline cases.
It clears the hay so the doctor can focus on the needle.
Perfectly put.
That is a hopeful note to transition on. We have covered the big three: coding, space, and health. But the AI ecosystem is moving so fast, there's a lot more happening. Let's slow it down a bit and walk through everything else in AI.
There is a lot happening across the ecosystem. Let's start with funding.
Right, so Day AI has raised $20 million. This is a startup from Christopher O'Donnell, who was a former HubSpot executive.
Their product is, well, it's fascinating. It's a CRM, a customer relationship management tool, but they're pitching it as a corporate crystal ball.
I love that description. How does it work?
Instead of you manually entering data, which, everyone hates doing, it analyzes your emails and documents. It learns about your business, your team, your customers, and then it offers strategic advice and auto-updates itself. No more manual data entry.
It turns the CRM from a database into a coach.
That's the idea. And moving on, xAI has released Grok Imagine 1.0.
This is their visual generation update. It features improved audio, but notably, it can now do 10-second video generations.
Yeah.
The resolution is higher, and the fidelity has jumped up. Keeping a character consistent for 10 seconds is harder than it sounds.
It is. They seem to have made real progress there.
And over in China, the AI Lab Step Fund has made a move.
Yes, they have open-sourced their Step 3.5 Flash model. This one is getting attention for its strong agentic and reasoning capabilities, combined with high speed. Usually you have to pick one or the other, smart and slow or fast and simple. StepFun is claiming to bridge that gap.
11 Labs is also making moves. 11 V3 is out of alpha.
It is now commercially available. The big highlights there are improved accuracy and stability. Their expressive speech is much more reliable now for production use cases. It can whisper or shout or sound skeptical with much higher fidelity.
Anthropic is taking a slightly different angle, focusing on science.
They've partnered with the Allen Institute and the Howard Hughes Medical Institute. The focus is specifically on using Claude as a research assistant. They're building agentic tools tailored for scientists, trying to accelerate discovery in biology and physics. It suggests Anthropic really sees its niche as a specialized research tool, not just a chatbot.
And finally, in this section, a big deal between OpenAI and Snowflake.
A $200 million deal. Snowflake Enterprise customers now get access to GPT 5.2. And note that version number 5.2. This allows them to build agents using their own business data securely inside the Snowflake environment.
GPT 5.2. That is a specific version number worth noting. Okay, let's wrap up with our toolkit. These are the trending AI tools you should know about today.
We have a very practical list this time.
First up, we mentioned it earlier, the Codex app.
Right, the OpenAI interface for Mac. If you're managing coding agents, this is your new home base. This is the best way to experience that agentic workflow right now.
Next is Riverflow 2.0.
This is from Sourceful. It's currently top ranked for AI image editing, not generation, editing. So if you need precise changes like swapping a shirt color or removing a person, this is currently beating the standard tools.
Step 3.5, Flash.
As we mentioned, the new open source model. If you need reasoning and speed for your applications, it's worth a look.
11 V3.
The go-to for expressive voice AI, now commercially ready for your products.
Action Book.
This one is all about efficiency. It's designed to make agents act 10 times faster while saving 100 times on tokens. If you're building bots that browse the web, this could be a massive cost saver.
Speakly.
A great little utility. It turns your spoken words into clear, polished messages and emails. It's perfect for when you're walking and just rambling out thoughts. It structures them into professional text. This is for presentations. It creates animated, interactive decks that are designed to guide attention and make your ideas stick. It's a step beyond static slides.
And finally, OpenClaw.
This one is interesting because it's self-hosted. It's a personal AI assistant that clears your inbox, manages your calendar, and integrates with over 100 platforms, but you control the data. It runs on your own hardware.
A very strong lineup today. From space data centers to self-hosted assistants, the landscape is moving incredibly fast.
It really is. You see this consolidation of power in the big infrastructure, but at the same time, this democratization of tools like OpenClaw. The field is getting really diverse.
That wraps up our brief for today. If you found this valuable, please follow the show and maybe share it with a colleague who needs to stay in the loop.
It really helps us out.
See you in the next